Some trips are about seeing beautiful places, but this one asked us to slow down, breathe deeply, taste boldly, and savor the world with every sense we have. This Thanksgiving, we continued our tradition of traveling to the beautiful place that is Paso Robles, California, where flavor, friendship, light, and landscape all meet.
We didn't come here to just look at beauty. We came to experience it, to taste it, hear it, breathe it in. We wanted to experience this trip with all of our senses, from the salty breeze of Morro Bay to the rich taste of Paso Robles wine to the glowing fields of light at Sensorio. Everything on this trip touched us in a different way.
We stayed at Sun Outdoors Central Coast Wine Country RV Resort, our second time here, and it was just as quiet, comfortable, and welcoming as ever. It's perfectly located for everything we did this weekend, from the wineries to Sensorio, making it the ideal home base for our Paso Robles adventure. After long days of wine tasting and exploring the area, coming back here each night felt relaxing, easy, and exactly what we needed.
One of our favorite Thanksgiving traditions is meeting Tim's mom and stepdad, Pat and John, at a restaurant for our holiday dinner. It all started at the Hungry Fisherman in Morro Bay 9 years ago, and we came back. We love meeting them for Thanksgiving, and this year's meal was as delicious as ever.
After dinner, we walked off the meal by taking a stroll down by the water directly under Morro Rock. It was a beautiful evening. The surfers were catching the last waves of daylight, the ocean breeze had that familiar salty smell, and the sunset painted the sky with warm pastel light. It was the perfect way to start a weekend built on gratitude.
Friday brought us to a familiar place, Tobin James, a longtime favorite of ours.
Starting it off with a white Sauvignon Blanc.
Thanksgiving weekend. Here
Cheers.
we go.
The wine was wonderful as always, but what made this visit unforgettable was meeting John and Liz for the first time, a couple who felt like old friends from the moment we said hello.
We talked about YouTube, travel, and life. John and I bonded over the desire to create, to share stories, to connect. We even found out that they were from Long Beach, the city where I was born. What a coincidence. Encounters like this, they're the unexpected gifts of travel.
Afterward, we grabbed lunch at a Mexican restaurant called Off the 46, and the flavors ticked all the boxes. The kind of meal that made us sit back and just smile.
After that great Mexican food, we headed down to Tin City and to one of our all-time favorite wineries, ONX. Our afternoon there was warm, relaxing, and full of sunshine. We sat on the outdoor patio, tasting beautifully crafted wines while enjoying the beautiful November air. Everything was right.
Saturday was a day we'll always remember, a day that took us deep into the heart of Paso Robles wine country. Justin Vineyards and Winery sits far out along Highway 46 West, tucked into a world of rolling oak-studded hills, winding country roads, and golden afternoon light. It feels like its own little sanctuary, peaceful, elegant, almost timeless.
As we drove in, we passed rows of perfectly aligned vines hugging the hillsides, each one soaking in the warm California sun. When we arrived at the Justin estate, we saw a beautiful, modern yet rustic property that somehow blends luxury with the simplicity of wine country living.
Justin is one of the Paso Robles' most iconic wineries. Founded back in 1981 by Justin Baldwin, the entire vision was to craft Bordeaux-style blends that could rival the great wines of France. And he chose this exact spot because of the soil, the elevation, and the dramatic temperature swings between warm days and cool nights. This combination creates grapes with incredible depth and complexity.
We chose to take the wine cave tour. As we stepped inside, we entered another world. A cool, elegantly lit labyrinth of stone corridors lined with hundreds of oak barrels. There's something spiritual about being in an environment like this, surrounded by years of patience, craftsmanship, and quiet anticipation. Our guide walked us through the entire process, from vine to barrel, sharing the philosophy that has made Justin a leader in Paso Robles winemaking.
We wandered through the cavernous hallways, pausing now and then to sample different wines, each one better than the last. Eventually, we were brought into the ISOSCELES room, a stunning space used for special events and elevated tasting experiences. They even offer an event called Taste Like a Somm, a blind tasting designed to sharpen your palate and wine skills. Tim and I are definitely coming back to try that.
And then came the moment we'd been waiting for, tasting their newest vintage of ISOSCELES straight from the barrel. ISOSCELES is their flagship Bordeaux blend, the wine that put Justin on the map. Tasting it this early, at the very beginning of its life, felt like being part of something rare and special. It was bold, young, and full of promise.
The richness and elegance of this blend genuinely surprised us, enough that we signed up for their club, the Wine Society. The setting, the cave, the history, the wine, it all came together in one unforgettable experience.
All right, hello. All right, so this is one of the best wine tasting tours we've done in this cave here, Justin. So
the lighting in this cave tour is just beautiful.
It's gorgeous. It's so gorgeous in here, and it's nice and cool.
Yep, and you could have like a candlelight dinner in here. I mean, it's
you could.
So romantic.
But really, the wine too. I mean, we are so surprised how good it is. If you're in this area, or even if you're not, and you're going to go wine tasting in Paso Robles, do it. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Justin Wines, the cave tour.
What an experience.
And as we stepped back outside into the warm afternoon light, the hills around us seemed to glow. The vineyards stretched out in front of us, peaceful and quiet. It was one of those moments where you just stop, breathe, and appreciate where you are.
And just when we thought the day couldn't get any better, we visited Sensorio, an experience which reminded us that wonder comes in many forms. Sensorio is an immersive light art experience created by internationally renowned artist Bruce Monroe. What you're seeing here are thousands upon thousands of fiber optic stems, each one glowing and shifting in color across the hillsides.
At night, the entire landscape becomes a living canvas, waves of light moving with gentle music and transforming the fields into something magical. It's part art installation, part outdoor museum, and part dreamscape.
Whether you're walking along the rolling hillside paths or taking in the view from above, Sensorio surrounds you with color, sound, and emotion. It's unlike anything else in California, and it's one of those experiences you truly have to see to believe. This place is mesmerizing, peaceful, poetic, and somehow very grounding. If the wineries awakened our sense of taste, Sensorio awakened our sense of awe.
Our Thanksgiving weekend in Paso Robles was more than a getaway. It was a reminder that beauty isn't something we just rush past. It's something we slow down to savor.
Whether in a glass of wine, a conversation with new friends, a sunset over the ocean, or a hillside glowing with light, These moments fulfill us, shape us, and stay with us. And we're so glad you came with us.
And that's what travel is all about. The joy of exploring, discovering, and connecting. Until the next time, cheers from Fillpot Adventures.